Hello everyone. So today we are going to understand the introduction to software testing. So first of all, you need to understand why we should test the application. So when I say test the application, you need to understand one meaning, that is what is testing. In your regular day-to-day activity also, you will be testing a lot of items. For example, if you are eating something, you will taste the food and check whether the salt is enough in that or not. So if at all it is more, you will add some water, and then if it is less, you will add some salt. So that way you will ensure that the food is eatable and the salt is as per the user requirement. So take another example. If I take calculator as an example, let's say I wanted to test the calculator addition functionality. So when I say addition functionality, I wanted to test the plus operation is working fine or not. So how do I do? So take 8 and then plus and then 4, 8 plus 4. So and click on is equal to. I should get 12. That means the plus functionality is working fine. So what is happening now? So you are checking the application. So what is this application? This application is calculator application. For example, if at all you test 8 into 5, so you know what should come. So what do you know? 8 into 5, and you are expecting the value as 40, and you will hit equal to and see whether you got 40 or not. Whatever you see in the application during the testing, that means whenever you are operating on the application, and if you are verifying that whatever the output, what is the output it is throwing, that we call it as actual result, that is 40. And the value before you do it, that means 8 into 5. So before you execute the calculator application, you know the expected outcome, the expected result is how much? It should be 40. So that means whenever you are comparing the expected result and actual result, both of them are equal, then only you say that your testing is pass. That means testing means comparing the expected result with actual results. Comparing the expected result versus actual result. So how do you compare? But you should know what exactly the requirement is. So what do you mean by requirement? Requirement. So when I say requirement, requirement means need of the customer. So when I say need of the customer need is here calculator application, addition, and also we have tested multiplication functionalities, right? Multiplication functionalities. So what does it mean? When you tested with 8 plus 4, the expectation should be 12. 8 into 5, then it is 40. So these are your expected results, and when you have the application with you, you will be testing that application and comparing the expected result with actual result as per the requirement. So that means hope you understand the meaning of testing. Testing means comparison of expected, comparing the expected result with the actual results is known as testing. Clear? So now once you understand the basic words, what do you understand? One is requirement and another one is testing. So requirement means what? Need of the customer. And testing means need of the customer. Testing means comparison of the, comparing the expected result with the actual result according to the requirement. Now you need to understand what is a software. What do you mean by software? So software means what? When I say software, so you need to understand first what is software. For example, if you go to any of these applications, let us say you wanted to go to some banking website, let us say ICICI Bank. So this is web application, right? So when you go to ICICI bank.co.in or icicibank.com, I'll open another website as well. You all know Amazon. So Amazon is one website. So here, this is a web application which is developed for Amazon to do their business. What does it mean? Amazon customers, that means if at all you wanted to buy a mobile, you will go to the mobile and then you will select your mobile and then you will place the order and you will pay the money. So that is what you are going to do. So that means you are the end customer for Amazon and Amazon is the client here. So Amazon may or may not have the team to build this application. That's the reason Amazon will go to a software company and then ask for develop the web application. So here they want application for Amazon. Amazon is the client. Let us say some company called TCS is the vendor. So when I say vendor, so TCS is the software company which has created this application. I'm just giving an example, guys. So here Amazon website needs to be built for the Amazon client. So there is a software company which has to build the application. So when I say this application as a software application, this is a category of web application. So web application means any application, whichever the software you call. So the software is collection of executable programs. Any software is collection of executable programs. When I say executable programs, if you go to this application, see here in this application, you have lot of functionalities. When I say functionalities, let us say you wanted to go to this website and you wanted to see what are all the TVs available. You wanted to see how many electronics are there. All these tabs are various functionalities and all these different options which are available for this application are, let us say this login is also another functionality. That means if you go to a Gmail application or any banking application, all the features whatever you see, those are all the functionalities which are available for the application. So those we call it as functionalities. The functionalities are your executable programs. When I say executable programs, if you click on this, you will go to today's deals and it will show all the deals which are available for today. For example, if you wanted to go and see what is the deal for this, then you will see how much offer they are giving, what is the total price, and you will be calculating this application. For example, if you have all these functionalities in one application, that forms your software. So that means software means collection of executable programs. Hope you understand what is the meaning of software now. And the next one, you need to understand what is a program. So program means it's a collection of instructions. When I say instructions, for example, in your application, login is one program. So under login program, so if I have to log into one application, what I have to do, I have to open the application and then I have to enter the user ID, enter the password and click on login button. So these are my instructions to log into this application. That means a program is collection of instructions. What is the instruction? Open the application, enter the user ID, enter the password, and click on login button. So now what you're going to do, you need to understand the meaning of instruction. So instruction means you are saying this has to be done. How it will be done? Your developer will develop a program for these lines to perform in the application. For example, if I go to this website amazon.in, then automatically the website should open. That is the first step. If I click on sign in button, then it should show me this page. If I enter the email ID, then enter the email ID and click on continue button. That means it should ask for password. Then you enter your valid password and click on sign in button. That means these are all your instructions which will allow you to go to the application. Now instruction means it is a collection of one or more statements. When I say statements, I'll simply give you one basic example for login functionality. Let us say I'm writing a program. Assume this is my program where assume I'm just writing it as browser. Assume my browser name is Amazon. You don't need to worry if you don't understand anything here, but still try to understand at a high level. There is a browser Amazon with the name and then page, and then there is a edit button, and then that edit button is user name, and then you are going to set the value your email id @ gmail.com. So if you look at this application here, see here, so assume this is your browser home page and this is the page for Amazon and there is a box. So I am just taking the first one as username as uh, pavanarkane@gmail.com, and then there is a password. So now what I am going to do, I am going to write 2 lines of code. So the next line of code will be what would be the next line of code? So your next line of code, browser and then page and then web edit. Here you will be having password, and then you will be setting the password. Assume you are giving some encrypted password. So password, you will not be disclosing it. And finally, you are going to have, you are going to click on a button. After the page, you are going to have button, and then assume that button name is sign in, and then you are going to click on it. That means what the developer is going to do, according to your instructions, you will be writing the statements which will get executed when you run the application. So these all things forms your software application. So like that, you will have web applications, and also you will also have one more application called desktop application. There are two categories of applications. One is web application and another one is desktop application. So if you look at desktop applications, let's say you go here and if you see there is one which we have seen, calculator is a application which is in this system. So it is a standalone application, you can access only here. And if you wanted to open any web application, let us say you wanted to open Flipkart, so you can access this application from anywhere in the world. So if you are accessing that through web, that means those applications are called web applications. If you are accessing that application only within this system, if you are accessing only in this system, that kind of applications we call it as desktop applications. That means you need to install that application into the system, and then you are going to make use of those applications. For example, if you go to any supermarket, and then there will be supermarket billing system. Let's take an example of supermarket billing system. So if you go to supermarket, there in their billing counter, they might be using this kind of application. What are they going to do? So they are going to tag all the details, whatever the items you have taken, and they will enter all the items, and then they will get the total price, and then you will either pay with your card or you will do a Google Pay. So this application you cannot access outside of that particular supermarket. That means only in that system, if you are accessing that kind of applications, we call it as desktop applications. So far what we have understood. So we understand what is software, what is program, what is statement, and what is instruction. So instruction, if you see, collection of one or more statements. When I say statement, so this statement, if it is true, then it will go and open the home page of the user. If any one of these user ID and password, then automatically it should throw an error message saying that the user are not authenticated or something. That means you will be having a collection of one or more statements for the instructions, whatever has been provided. So now, once you understand the basic things, you understand what is the meaning of software testing also. So far, you break the word. What one is software and another one is testing. Now you need to understand what is software testing. So software testing means you are going to check the application. Let us say this is your application. You are checking this application and ensure that, if you look at, take one example, your customer requirement is for this particular phone, there is one requirement they have given. Let us say I'll go with one option, which is some discount price. See, 21% off. So if you have to test this particular functionality, what are you going to do? So you will see, whenever the mobile has been displayed in this particular screen, so its actual cost is 18,999. With the 21% of discount, it should show 14,999. So how are you going to calculate in a normal way? So you will be opening one Excel sheet. So the shortcut to open is Windows R key, press Windows R key from the keyboard, Excel, and then you write what is the actual price of this mobile. So what is the actual price? 18,909. 18,999 actual price. So how much is the discount? 21%. That means 21 by 100. So amount, how much is the discount amount? This one into 21 by 100. Okay, so now if you wanted to see the actual price, what you have to do is you have to take this actual amount minus the discount amount. So that would be your discounted price, 15,009. So if you see here, you have to put a bracket here and see. So even they are giving 21%, and then the price is not matching. So what does it mean? 18,909 on top of it 21%. If you apply discount, the discount amount is this one. So that means from this amount, if you subtract, the cost is 15,009 rupees, but how much they are giving it for? 14,999. So that means the calculation is not working properly here. So you should test all these things as part of your application testing. So you have to ensure that whether the calculations are happening properly or not. So this type of testing, if you are doing that, we call it as software testing. What is software testing now? So software testing means you are going to compare the expected result with the actual result. This is the expected result, and whatever you see in the application is the actual result. During your execution, you are going to compare the expected result with the actual result as per the customer requirement to ensure that there is no deviation from the requirement. That type of testing, we call it as software testing. So now you understand the meaning of software testing. between a project and product. Before we go into project and product, first, if at all you don't test the software properly, what is going to happen? So now let us say you have taken this example of supermarket. Assume this is your software application. It has come for your testing. If you don't test this application properly, what will happen? You either end up paying the additional amount if that is not working properly. You either lose your money if it is not working properly. That means if the application is not tested properly, you may lose your money. Okay, so basically if you don't test the application properly, for example, for grocery shop, the system is not tested properly, either customer pay more or customer pay less. If customer pay more, then the shop person will get benefited. If customer pays less, then shop person will get loss from the business. That's the reason the software needs to be tested properly without having any defects. When I say defects, defect means defect means deviation from the requirement. Means how much percentage offer you have given, that much only it has to deduct. If you take this as an example, if it is giving more than that, then definitely you will be losing some money. So that's what you are going to do as part of your lose of money. And also, sometimes some of the software applications are used in the hospital systems. For example, MRI scanning machine. So if the scanning machine is not working properly, the person has went inside into the machine and he is not able to come out of it, and there is a problem with the machine, and he may lose his life also. He may lose his life also. And if at all you don't test the applications properly, there will be loss of life for the customers. That's the reason softwares needs to be tested properly. Either you may lose your money or either you may lose your life. And finally, you will lose your brand name also. For example, if the software company is not developing the applications properly, then ultimately customers will not go to the company again, because all the softwares whatever they have delivered, so they might have some problems in the softwares. That's the reason they will not entertain those companies to build the applications. So that's the reason you will lose your brand value whenever you don't test them properly. And now we will understand one more thing called project versus product. So when I say project versus product, so you simply understand project means according to specific customer need. According to specific customer need, if you build something, that is called project. For example, let us say you wanted to buy a software which is used for your bank customers alone. Let us say your bank is Citibank. So I have an account in Citibank and my user has to do the transactions from Citibank to other banks and within the Citibank and so many. That means all Citibank users should be able to do the transactions from this application. If we are developing that kind of application which is specific to Citibank customers, that we call it as project. But if you are doing something which is product based on the market need, if you are developing something and sell it, that we call it as product. When I say product, product means what are you going to do is you will identify something. Nowadays if you see, lot of school kids are getting messages to the parents from a app saying that earlier they used to use a diary. So diary, there every teacher used to write the subject wise data. Now what they are going to do, they are going to use some apps which can be used across all the schools. Every school will make use of the same app, and which can be directly sell to any of the schools. So similarly, if you take any general life examples, for example, soaps. Soaps are products. Anything like if you take an example of MS Office. MS Office is also one of the product. That means you will be having MS Office means you are going to have Excel, Word, and PowerPoint presentation. These are all things directly you can purchase and make use of it. Those are called products. But project means according to any specific customer, if you are building something, that we call it as product. So these are all the basic terminologies you need to understand before going to the actual software development life cycle.